The cartoon community has a reputation, alright. From ranting about SpongeBob to other things, the cartoon space on YouTube has sort of been a laughingstock. Now, is this deserved? Today, I'm here to show some of the good creators along with reviewers I don't love and ranking them together. Before I begin, this is all my opinion. I'm not here to be objective. And two, for the people I talk negatively about, I don't hate them as people, I just don't like their content. Anyways, with that said, let's get started.
Security system takes control of Squidward's house and begins attacking the—
Starting off with a banger, we got Saber Spark.
Seriously, new cartoon crush on.
He's by far the most popular member with over 2 million subscribers, but I have to be honest, I do not care for Saber Spark. This wasn't always the case though. I used to enjoy his content when he used to review obscure cartoons, but over time his content felt more generic. Whenever I clicked on a video from him, he gives a basic plot summary sprinkled in with unfunny furry jokes. The only series I liked from him was his What Happened to You series. To me, he started off as an interesting creator to a channel that lost its charm. To be nice, I'm putting him in C tier. Phantom Strider. He was one of my first introductories to the cartoon community. I clicked on his top 10 worst Nickelodeon shows. From that day on, I consumed all of his content. I thought his videos were the funniest thing in the world. Phantom Strider was in my top 10 YouTubers list for a while. Now with that said, does his content hold up? A lot of Schneider's older videos are basically typical cartoon discussions from back then, bandwagoning the most hated TV shows, most of them being popularized by Mr. Ender. In my opinion, not really worth watching unless you want a kick of nostalgia. Schneider's video style has improved over time with better editing, writing, and nowadays he covers other topics including banned media. From what I can tell, he seems pretty happy moving away from the more ranty side of YouTube. Plus, he's a pretty chill guy helping raising money for charity. He's definitely one of the more likable members. B tier. I wanted to like Dusk to Shawn. I'm a fan of older cartoons, and unfortunately for me, most cartoon reviewers rarely cover anything before 2005. So I was excited to find a channel that finally covered old cartoons. But here's the problem. Shawn loves to pad out his videos. Your average Shawn video is like 90% him summarizing the entire plot for an 11-minute episode and making that 30 minutes long. I think he's doing it on purpose. Take a look. His most popular video was on CatDog the Great Parrot Mystery, an hour-long TV movie, with a video that's 16 minutes long. His other video about a Courage the Cowardly Dog episode was 22 minutes long. Now tell me, why on God's earth is this video 40 minutes long? I know I sound like a massive hater right now, but I'm just saying this because I want him to improve. Anyways, C tier, just a mixed bag. Tunerrific joined YouTube on March 20th, 2009. His first few videos were, let's say, movie maker level quality.
While Kim Possible was action-packed with some drama, and Lilo and Stitch's series was cute and harmless, Dave the Barbarian...
Over time, he improved his content style into what it is now. Okay, so what are my opinions on him? Tunerrific puts a lot of effort into his videos. You can tell by the way he uses hip-hop as background music and transitions to keep the pacing tight. Tunerrific has an engaging enough voice and a okay writing style that makes his commentary simple yet funny.
Hey!
What?
Are you only doing it this way because the ranking thing is trendy?
Yes.
Oh! Well, good luck!
If you're looking for a cartoon channel with a unique style, I recommend giving Tunerrific a try. A tier. Cellspec isn't a traditional member. Her main bread and butter are on animated film discussions like worst to best movies of that year. Cell's reviews are confident enough, though some of them feel like she's reading off of IMDb. What she does with her avatar is cool, with no line art that makes it blend into the background. Cell's editing is fine, and I like her song choices. I've seen a couple of her videos before, but nothing that would really interest me. I don't care about movies the same way I care about TV shows. Yeah, nothing much to say. C tier. Mr. Enter, the first cartoon reviewer and the most infamous. Back in the day, there were two types of cartoon fans. People who liked Mr. Enter and people who don't. I'm not gonna blindly hate him in our year 2026. Mr. Enter hate hasn't been relevant past that one Turning Red review, so I'm going to fairly judge him. I gotta say, old Mr. Enter was unintentionally funny as hell. Watching a grown man get genuinely angry at My Little Pony is pure comedy gold there. Unfortunately, there would be kids who would treat his words like gospel. In one of his SpongeBob reviews, he calls out the writers of an episode he was pissed at, leading them to get harassed.
Isn't it great that they're trying to teach kids such valuable lessons in life? Alright, you three. What's the word I'm looking for? Dipshits? No, that word is too good for you. Assholes? That's not quite right either. Fuckers? No. I'm just gonna call you three excuses for humanity until I can find a description that properly suits your crude, idiotic, and juvenile talentless asses.
Now, he has deleted that video and apologized, which is a good thing, but this would leave a permanent marker on his reputation. Mr. Enter had a pilot called Growing Around. It was crowdfunded and he even wrote a book about it. And apparently some people called Mr. Enter a pedo because he made a cartoon about kids. For kids. Modern Mr. Enter's just boring now. Look, I'm not him and Mr. Enter's not me, but he feels rather tired in his modern reviews. Like he's not that interested in cartoons anymore. Not all of his newer videos are like that. His Lion King 2019 review was well done. But the Cartoon Network retrospective and Nicorama don't feel like they had the same passion put into them. Now, the Nicorama part could be blamed on one person who we'll get to very soon. They feel like they were made for AdSense rather than anything else. Mr. Enter's a D tier. Overhated, but not underrated. Okay, technically he's not a cartoon reviewer and he left the platform this year, but I'm including him anyways. Fuck you. What I enjoy about media Momentos is that he goes more into depth in what he's covering. First, his network series is a well-researched deep dive into troubled production histories with shows that got screwed over. Character Quest is an interesting look into underrated characters, and even his non-series videos are well-written. Although his earlier videos look a bit bad, with the black borders and all. With that said, I recommend his channel, even though he and his team have moved on. B tier. Employ a Million is a YouTuber from Mini Australia, starting his videos off by talking about SpongeBob before covering other cartoons. Here's a little something you need to know about me. Back in 2022, I wasn't in a good headspace at the time, and YouTube recommended one of his videos to me. And from that day on, by that I mean 2 years, I became a huge fan. EAM has a clear passion for animation. It shows in videos like Digital V-Sale, a well-researched video explaining how shows change their animation styles over time. The Failure of Friday Night Nicktoons takes a look at Nickelodeon's weird Cartoon Network Fridays clone, and why it didn't catch on. Now his review series, outside of the screenshots and editing, where he uses photos instead of clips, if you could get past that, they're alright reviews. Nothing mind-blowing, but nothing outright awful. Some of his takes are kind of bad, if you think about it, like his early reviews. I don't quite understand where he's coming from with his criticisms. Still, you can't see eye to eye on everything, so B tier. Next up, Just Stop. He has a mini-series about film adaptations of books, ranking how good they are. He also has done a retrospective on directors' filmography. Say what you want about him, but he does have a way of explaining his points better than other YouTubers. He digs into whatever he's talking about with a fair amount of research. However, with that said, he does have his fuck-ups. Armchair Critic Just Stop does a self-reflection while debunking criticisms about him. Why is that, you ask? Because one person on Twitter didn't like him. Yeah. The comment section and, to be honest, the video acts like he's being slandered as a whole by Twitter when one random nobody made a tweet about him. With that said, I'm gonna be nice and give him B tier. Here's one you didn't expect. Remember Jem Reviews? I do. He was a semi-well-known member back in the mid-2010s, mainly focusing on Regular Show and Ed, Ed, and Eddie. To put it lightly, he's just a clone of Mr. Enter. Jem copies a lot of the same format, his criticisms, writing, jokes. Listen, there's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from a YouTuber you like. It's a great way for beginner creators to grow their audience and develop their channels. However, it gets to a point where you're essentially a clone and no unique identity or style to call your own. He hasn't uploaded in 6 years, so I hope he's doing well. D tier. Nintendo. No relationship with Nintendo. If I could describe Chundo with one word, it would be chill. Usually, he makes retrospectives and trivia videos on strange crossovers and censored episodes. Best and worst cartoons of X year are what they say. He doesn't drag on too much on a certain aspect of a cartoon, and he goes over its history and how it changed, blah blah blah. My only problem is his upload schedule, but that's about it. I don't have much to say, so let's move on. B tier. Childish Juju. Please upload a new video. I missed you. Ellis Mark, responsible for ranking every episode of Blank series and the creator of Catching Up. I know he's kind of the punching bag for YouTubers who take media too seriously, similar to Mr. Enter in his early days, except to a lesser degree. Personally, Ellis Mark isn't that bad. When you click on a video from him, you're not expecting a super in-depth review on what Family Guy episode pissed him off that week. However, his criticisms aren't nothing burgers. He does provide some insight into whatever topic he's covering. On the other hand, there's the crap takes. Like, take a shot every time Mark doesn't understand a joke from American cartoon cause he's Irish. Another thing to point out is his rankings. Mark doesn't give enough focus to a certain episode or movie. Ranking every episode of Regular Show is the biggest example of this. He doesn't give enough focus to episodes or moments, brushing them aside, which isn't too surprising. He watched the entire series in 3 days.
You know, I never drank coffee until I started working on this video. Giving yourself 3 days to watch the entirety of a Regular Show and going on a flight that same day was definitely a good call, Pass Mark.
This effectively makes his points come off as more sloppy just to rush a video. Ellis Mark isn't the best, but if it's lunchtime and your food's getting cold, it isn't so bad to put on a video from him. B tier, I guess. We need to address the elephant in the room. Cosmodore. Now, I'm not going to make this entire section about him as a person. I'll talk about that later. His content was fine. He would cover old Flash cartoons along with movie franchises. It wasn't laughably bad, nor was it anything special. He had good enough editing and writing, and that's all you need to become well known in the cartoon community. Cosmodore had a lot of connections. He was featured in podcasts, collabs, and featured as a guest star on Did You Know Gaming and Frederator. Toon Clash was a podcast run by Cosmodore featuring other YouTubers, where they would have a tournament of which cartoon is the best from a certain network. The only episode I watched was one about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Good luck trying to find any episodes now, cause they're all scrubbed off the internet.
Again, I
14. Nice and legal. What?
That's a quote from the show.
Someone's got to clip that,
Hope so.
Cosmo. Make sure you know what you just said.
Cosmodore was exposed for being a groomer and having a relationship with a 15-year-old while being 19 at the time. I'm not going to go into too much detail on what he did. If you want more info, you can look it up online. If Cosmodore wasn't a piece of shit, I would have put him at B tier. However, I can't separate art from the artist this time. Next up is our first Brit on the list, Steve Reviews. His reviews of mature animated movies make him stand out from others on here. Most cartoon YouTubers don't cover them unless it's something like Has-Been Hotel or Family Guy. Probably because of the YouTube algorithm. So having a YouTuber who can introduce viewers to non-mainstream animated films is always a plus. Some of the thumbnails kinda suck. Reminds me of stupid clickbait. His voice and editing is kind of boring. Overall, I'm giving him a B tier. Star Giant Productions. Oh Lord, where do we begin? Let's give a brief backstory on who Star Giant is. So Mr. Enter has this team of editors, and one of those editors is Star Giant, or Ryan. Now, Ryan would get into a lot of shit with the team, and also protecting a groomer. I'm not going to go into the whole Star Giant production saga, cause trust me, it's a whole rabbit hole. But what about Star's content? Is that any good?
Sketches in his art book in the 1980s, which is honestly one of the most cliche things to do to make a show based off of. Bugs and Beast had the same fortune on.
Stinks.
Star Giant makes Mr. Enter look like Robert Ebert with their gold mine of bad takes. It's quite obvious Ryan doesn't understand how to review things. If you click on one of their videos, you're greeted with a mindless ramble as Ryan nitpicks irrelevant details. Top 10 Star Giant hits include not understanding basic jokes, getting mad at child characters for being children, calling things child abuse when it isn't, comparing everything to My Little Pony, blames Randy Marsh for COVID-19 and Grandpa Lube for Pearl Harbor. All of these and more can be found on Star Giant Productions. I have to owe Jem Reviews an apology. Ryan is 10 times a Mr. Enter clone than Jem ever was. Now you might argue, well, no crap. Ryan was an editor on his team. Well, that's true when it comes to his editing choices. Until we get to Cartoon Network 64. So, Ryan takes a look at Nicorama, which is already a poor man's version of Knickknacks, and thinks to himself, how can I make it even worse? On his DeviantArt page, before it was removed, they made a review of Grave of the Fireflies, giving it a 0 out of 10 for being too sad.
Watch it.
A majority of these issues, outside of Star not understanding basic story elements, Ryan is focusing on quantity over quality. They spend so much time creating series and pumping out videos, but it doesn't mean anything when the videos have no value outside of ironic enjoyment. Super F. Jordan Fridge. he's a nostalgia channel, alright. Jordan has the same problem like most reviewers on here, giving hour-long recaps and basic observations. Now, to be fair, he's not as bad as Saber Spark. Even in his long as fuck videos, he does go a bit more in depth about characters, animations, and references. But even so, I don't need a glorified plot summary of all of Jimmy Neutron. Fandom Wiki is there for that. I'll say this, his voice isn't too annoying, and he does have chemistry that doesn't bore me. There are Remember Blank videos that cover obscure cartoons. They are short, simple, and to the point. If you want a nostalgic retrospective, he's certainly fine for that. C tier. Rebel Taxi. The GOAT! Rebel Taxi started his channel in 2008. He was one of the first early cartoon reviewers. Now, Pan Pizza is my favorite YouTuber on this list, and here's why. Pan Pizza has a talent for art and making videos good. He uses saturated colors along with icons and stylish thumbnails. Is inspired from 2000s media, making it feel like an old school video game. His videos pop out more than the typical reviewer style. Pan's editing is cool. He's able to present and discuss a topic while being funny. He doesn't force his jokes in too much. I don't know why, but his videos are really rewatchable to me. A tier. Alpha J Show. Another hot take. How fun. I don't care for his videos either. Alpha Jake here's the same problem as most reviewers, like I said. A recap that explains the entire plot in detail while giving basic observations. To be fair, his jokes aren't as annoying as Saber's, so that's a plus. C tier. Mars Reviews. I stumbled upon his channel thanks to his cartoon community rant. Despite the video being a few years old, I thought it was a funny enough video and somewhat relevant to the cartoon community today. Now, what about his other videos? Pretty good time as well. He takes the piss out of obscure, weird cartoons. I mean, you don't need a film degree to say something looks like ass. His tone delivery makes it even better, cause he sounds like he does not give a shit. So, what happened to his channel? Why has he not been uploading? From what I heard, his channel was hijacked in 2020. He later got it back, however he became demotivated. If he wanted to quit YouTube to work on himself, I totally understand. Health is more important than making videos after all. I'll put him on A tier. Cartoonchi, or second kid on the list. He started off as a commentary YouTuber before moving to cartoon discussions. He's well known for dunking on The Loud House and its interesting fans, along with other cartoons. I don't have much to say about him. His reviews are kind of funny, he's a good enough entertainer, an okay reviewer, not annoying. I'm not that interested in most of the stuff he talks about. B tier. Alright, let's look at our final results. At Super F is Star Giant and Cosmodore. Then in D tier is Mr. and Turk and Jem Reviews. In C tier is Alpha J, Drone Fridge, Dusk Shawn, Cellspec, and Saber Spark. B tier, Just Stop, EAM, Nintendo, Steve Reviews, Media Momentos, Childish Juju, Ellis Mark, Cartoonchi, and Phantom Schneider. At A tier, Tunerrific, Rebel Taxi, and Mars Reviews. And finally, at S tier, we have the one and only Saber Fart.
Really?
I wanna take you for a ride.